Well, testing, testing. We're not even supposed to be here right now, but I've just been
What's going on?
informed. I've just been informed we're
Ladies and
having a
gentlemen,
match.
the following contest
Are
you
we?
are about to see is unscheduled and unsanctioned. Making their way to the ring first, weighing in at 364 pounds from right here in Phoenix, Arizona, this is Sasquatch Show!
Well, from right here in Phoenix, Arizona, Sasquatch Shaw is gracing us with his presence, and we've just been informed that we're having a match right now, unscheduled. It's not on the official card. First ever dark match in Covenant Pro Wrestling history. We're told that it's more important than getting a drink of water or going to the restroom before the show starts.
But they all know I have my 30 minutes restroom before the show. How could they do this to me?
Well, Jack, we know that you're full of shit, but I guess you're not relieving it today.
Oh, please tell me it's not a long show today, James.
Well, I guess it's gonna be. We have an extra match here, which we don't normally.
And now for their opponent. Making their way to the ring, being frequently sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Weighing in at 274 pounds, he is the man, the moth, the legend, Mothman.
As we just heard our announcer tell us, this is the man, the moth, the legend, Mothman. Is somewhat of an occult character here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, has museums dedicated to his name in West Virginia. What can you tell me about the Mothman, Jack?
Honestly, I didn't think he was real, but I remember hearing stories about him when I was a little kid. I just thought he was a story to keep me behaving. To be honest, James, I'm not too sure about what he's meant to be doing here, though.
Meant to keep us behaving, keep us in check. I guess that is the case here because this is a dark match in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
Have we been told why it's a dark match?
I assume that the Mothman doesn't work on human etiquette, I'm not sure if he's some kind of demon, some kind of, alternate life form here, but I would assume he said, I want a match, give me whoever you've got, and Sasquatch just happened to be there.
It's quite ironic that he's going against Sasquatch, considering a lot of people really want to see Bigfoot versus the Mothman.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, I guess Covenant Pro Wrestling is first in line for giving the people what they want, because Mothman is taking on Sasquatch in some form.
In some form or another, but it's something we can use to sell the show, I can tell you that much, James.
Definitely something that we can use to sell the show. And what's interesting about this is the only place you're going to see this is Covenant Pro Wrestling, and the only place that you're going to see this is live.
Yeah, I'm still a loss for words, to be honest.
Well, the fans in the arena seeing Sasquatch Shaw somehow being able to take it to the Mothman with a series of 10 punches. Got every single one of them there. And I'm impressed, but Mothman able to just get up like it was nothing. Not selling these moves very much.
No, the thing is with Mothman, he doesn't seem to be showing much wrestling etiquette today. Whatsoever. So it must be a big disadvantage for sure, just not knowing what he's going up against anyway.
No, definitely, it's got to be some sort of a disadvantage, but, I'm just in awe of Sasquatch right now, just by the size of him. You see him, he's literally dwarfing the Mothman. And
Has anyone told him not to look into Mothman's eyes yet?
I can't even look away from the Mohawk, so I guess he's saving all of us today. I hope he doesn't look in the Mothman's eyes, because that could be a recipe for disaster here.
It really could. Please tell me we made him sign his health and safety waiver at least.
I hope he, signed the health and safety waiver for sure. We all signed it. Mothman is no different, but right now, Mothman just hammering away on those double axe handles to the back of Sasquatch Shaw. And I think this is the longest Sasquatch has been down, long enough for people to get a real glimpse at him. But, wow, as we say that, Sasquatch, just being taken out by the Mothman. And I have to think doing 2 in a row might be flying a little too close to the flame, but Mothman with that wheel kick off the top rope.
Yeah, I think Sean might have looked in his eyes. He seemed kind of dazed after those 2 aerial maneuvers.
Dazed for sure, but a nice uppercut there, lifting the Mothman up, and a backbreaker over that knee.
Reminds me a bit of the superhero Bane there.
A superhero, supervillain, anti-hero, I get you. He definitely reminds me of that just a little bit.
But will he be able to break the Mothman?
I'm not sure. Mothman's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and people of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, they idolize him. They immortalize him in statues and in museums. So
they worship him.
They worship him, so he's got to be doing something right. A 2 count there. Shaw is very impressive in this matchup, being able to kick out of those very aggressive pinfalls.
That's the thing with Mothman. He seems to be very, very aggressive. Do you think that he's been cooped up for hundreds of years, or do you think he's just finally snapped?
I don't think he's finally snapped. I think he was at that point from the very beginning, and a huge splash and a 2 count there. I think he's just finally wanted to try something new. In the world of professional wrestling, is a world where anyone can do anything and be anything they can imagine, as long as they can put up, as long as they can have those skills and show the people they have what it takes.
I mean, I guess that is true, considering we have a demon clown.
We do have a demon clown, unfortunately. We've got a lot of nefarious characters running around in Covenant Pro Wrestling this early in our tenure here in Phoenix, Arizona. But, I think one of these days, that demented clown, that jester there, is going to get some of his own medicine. But, as far as the action inside the ring, the action just went outside the ring. And Sasquatch Shaw looking very confident here on the outside.
Yeah, sorry if I went silent there. I looked into his eyes a bit long.
Looked into his eyes, mesmerizing for sure, but not in the good way.
Not in the good way at all. Not in the good way at all. That's all I can say, James.
Both of these competitors are captivating our attention, some in good ways and some in bad. But right now, Sasquatch Shaw is in a bad way with those clubbing blows to the back, and the Mothman is in full control.
The Mothman's had a lot of momentum in this match.
Had a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, very unpredictable, I would say.
It makes me question what kind of feuds he'll have in the future.
What kind of feuds are definitely something that we're going to be looking forward to in the future for him, and for both of these competitors.
How is Shaw surviving?
I'm not quite sure how he's surviving, but I am impressed. We don't know much about his maneuvers or his style apart from what he has shown us here today, but it is definitely working.
Could he just be an unshaved Sasquatch, and that's why he's called Sasquatch Shawn?
I don't know if you see what I see, but I don't quite think he's unshaved. I think maybe, the stories may just be a little bit, over-exaggerated.
I mean, he's definitely got the stature to be mistaken as a Sasquatch.
You know, maybe he grows that beard out and it looks a little bit different in his usual state, but right now, the state that he is in with a big, lariat there, the spinning lariat, is not good for Sasquatch Shaw. We have a pinfall here, a 1, a 2, and a 3. The Mothman, the victor in our first ever dark match here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this contest via pinfall, he is the Mothman! Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with episode 5 of Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. I'm James Randall alongside my broadcast colleague Jack Colby, and we've got a stacked show for you here tonight. Jack, tell them what we're going to see.
We're going to see a lot of exciting matches, including Aiden Flynn versus Tigre? Tigre Ultimo, is that how you say it?
I hear it's Tigre Ultimo, or we could say it Ultimo. We'll figure it out as we go.
Let's just see if he's ultimate.
I think he may be, and I think Aiden Flynn, both of these are newcomers here to Covenant Pro Wrestling, but Aiden Flynn is going to have his hands full with that beast of a competitor, Tigre Ultimo.
Your official opening contest of Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 113 kilograms, this is the self-proclaimed global icon, Aiden Flynn.
Aiden Flynn making his debut in Covenant Pro Wrestling, the self-proclaimed global icon from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
I've looked him up when I saw his promo last week. I'm not sure I like him.
You know, I'm not sure I like him either. He has a tendency to call people soy boys. Jack, do you know what a soy boy is?
I thought he was some kind of someone who was very into condiments.
Very into condiments, for sure. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it means. And for whatever reason, Aiden Flynn eats his chicken nuggies without condiments.
And their opponent, making their way to the ring from deep in the jungle, weighing in at 296 pounds, he is the Rage of Beast, Tigre Ultimo!
Tigre Ultimo making his Covenant Pro Wrestling debut. And, you know, I don't think we've really ever seen anything like him in our organization. Of course, we saw Tora Khan, who looked very similar, but this menacing presence is just on another level. And I think he can, I hear he can move as well.
Tora Khan didn't need a muzzle. This one does.
That is a definite separating factor between those two. But right now, we're going to see what separates Aiden Flynn versus Tigre Ultimo.
It's going to be a very interesting match. That's all I can say.
Definitely. And a big side slam right out of the gate. Ultimo making Aiden Flynn, giving him the warm welcome, I should say.
I wonder if Aiden Flynn is calling him a soy boy right now.
So, you know, I'm not even sure if it's a boy or a man or if it's a human being in that attire. It might be a soy beast, but that's about all I can say.
I just hope that it will lower Flynn's ego a little bit.
Definitely has the potential to do that. You know, Tigre Ultimo lowering his body off the top rope with that splash and a couple of kicks there. An early pinfall, referee Leonard Seymour doing his best to call this action, and Aiden Flynn able to get back up.
I also did a quick search about Tigre Ultimo, and it appears he's only here for the money.
You know, I've heard that as well. I'm not sure exactly what he's spending his money on. Potentially some animal crackers and whatnot. You know, more power to him, right?
Yeah, I guess animals can earn money too. If he's an animal.
Potentially, and the animal there hitting him with a dragon screw and shoving Aiden Flynn into the corner, bouncing his head off of the top turnbuckle. And now with a series of elbow strikes, this is not looking good for the so-called global icon.
All I know is the higher you go, the further you fall. So if you're at the very top of your game, like the global icon is claiming to be, then he has very, very, very far to fall.
Definitely. And speaking of falling, Tigre Ultimo falling on Aiden Flynn's head in a big clawed choke slam there and a pinfall. Referee Leonard Seymour, a 1, a 2, only a 2 count there.
I wonder if Tigre's had to shorten his claws.
You know, I don't think sharp claws are legal here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, but if I had to wager a guess, I would say that Tigre Ultimo had to file down his teeth and his nails tonight in order to compete. And these two competitors here are absolutely brutalizing one another with this back and forth contest. Once one has an advantage, the other one fights back, and you really never know what's going to happen. And a big elbow.
Looks like Flynn is showing off. Oh no, he's stomping on Tigre's head.
Could it be a win for Flynn? We have to, continue to monitor this matchup, but a big standing shooting star press there.
I'm not sure who that hurt more though, because he seems to be in pain himself after doing that.
You know, some of the best moves can hurt you, and Aiden Flynn just hit Tigre Ultimo with the drop-dead Tiger Driver.
It's actually called the drop dead Tiger. Sorry, that is very appropriate.
It is very appropriate, and sometimes when you're doing commentary and when the stars align, you just gotta smile at some of the things you gotta say.
I guess those stars align quite often here at Covenant Pro Wrestling, don't they, James?
More often than sometimes I'd like.
Anyway, moving on from that.
Moving on from that, as Tigre Ultimo moves on from that attempt there by Aiden Flynn to jump off the top rope.
I think he might have angered the beast.
Ooh, went for a big clothesline or a lariat there, missed.
Is Tigre okay?
I think you're right. I think he is very angry and motioning again for Aiden to get up.
Hopefully he'll hit it this time. And he does.
In a big clothesline. A backdrop there, the most devastating move in all of Covenant Pro Wrestling. And a spine buster.
Aiden Flynn his back must be in stitches now.
You know, Aiden Flynn is a pancake, and the maple leaf and maple syrup that he brings to the table is somehow hanging on.
I have many questions, but I'm just not going to ask them.
Ask away. I know that today is an interesting show, and I'm not quite on top of my game this week. I'm looking at a tiger fight a Canadian man.
I mean, is he a pacifist? He's definitely not a pacifist from what we're seeing today. Perhaps he's here to dismiss those claims that Canadians are nice people.
You know, I've seen him passing fists left and right here today, but he's also looking to pacify Tigre Ultimo, and another drop-dead Tiger Driver. And only a 2-count. Tigre, he's like, I was born in the jungle, and that, has prepared me for situations like this. Tigre Ultimo's still in the game.
I think we might need a tranquilizer dart to put him down.
And I think that is the tranquilizer dart for Aiden Flynn. If Tigre can get into a pinning position here, he may have just won it. Referee Leonard Seymour, a 1 count, a 2, and only a 2 count. Aiden Flynn.
How?
I'm thinking right now that Aiden Flynn must play hockey.
And why would that be, James?
Because he fights like a guy who spent a lifetime in the penalty box, and he's Canadian.
That might be a bit stereotyping.
Well, stereotype that. A pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Tigre Ultimo is victorious in his first ever appearance in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my.
And even a Mothman.
And your winner of this contest via pinfall, Tigre Ultimo. This is an absolutely insane show. Aiden Flynn, we're looking on. He's visibly disappointed in Tigreal Timo, celebrating his victory here tonight. But now we move on in the action to a new upstart here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, Emma Barkley, the self-proclaimed California sweetheart, taking on the quick draw Lex Hook.
Why does she proclaim herself to be a sweetheart?
I don't know, she's apparently California's sweetheart, and she's pretty good at skateboarding and things. That's what I've been told here in my notes. So we'll just have to see how good she is at professional wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled
seems
for
perhaps
one
will.
fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Huntington Beach, California, they are California sweetheart, Emma Barkley.
Emma Barkley making her debut in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and I've got to ask, she's taking on Lex Hook, someone that we've seen here on several occasions. And we know Lex Hook to be a very talented and tough competitor. Is Emma Barkley barking up the wrong tree?
I was literally just about to say that. I'm not sure. Like, she might be biting off more than she can chew here. Especially for her first competitive match here at CPW.
I know that she doesn't have very much experience in pro wrestling.
And now for her opponent.
Some of our trainers
Making
here
her way to the
recommended
ring
her.
from
But
Nashville,
this is,
Tennessee.
I think, her first professional contest
She is the
on
quick
national
draw. Lex
I mean,
Hook.
she might even... I don't even know. How is she going to be able to perform here against her compared to, like, Lex Hook?
Well, she definitely is showcasing her Covenant Pro Wrestling spirit, coming out in that Covenant Pro Wrestling snapback hat, which you can buy on CovenantProWrestling.com. But Lex Hook making her way to the ring. I feel like it's going to be a mistake here today that, if Emma Barkley doesn't take this seriously.
Yeah, I believe that too. I think it's still going to be a closer match than we might expect.
It may be a closer match than we might expect, and Emma Barkley not shy in the outset of this match, getting up close and personal with Lex Hook, bringing her up to the top rope, and a quick suplex there, fisherman suplex with a pinfall. Good strategy to try to put her out so quickly.
Was Barkley showcasing her naivety there? Basically thinking that one match will end and one move will end a match.
We've seen so many things here in Covenant Pro Wrestling that one move ending a match wouldn't be the craziest thing that we've seen. And a big reverse DDT there. Emma Barkley is showing that she does have more moves in her repertoire than just the one. So maybe that was just, a trial to see if it would work. She's learning. We're all learning. And now...
One thing I will say is that the women's division seems to be very, very popular when it comes to stamping people's fingers. And I thought this would have been at least addressed by now.
I've talked to Will Sheridan. We've considered all the options here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And... basically, he said, as long as they can still flag a taxi after it's all said and done, everything's legal.
So we don't care for the safety of our competitors?
Well, I think he chalks it up to, a respect thing, like we were saying. So if a competitor goes in there with another one, and they want to completely annihilate each other, we would think that if they respected each other and they cared about each other enough, they would not do that. But in certain situations, that is not possible. And speaking of that, Lex Hook taking Emma Barkley down on the barely padded concrete with a power bomb, and now some just brutal slaps. I don't even know if they're full-fledged slaps or punches, but it's definitely disrespectful. We talk about, you know, respect and safety of our competitors and what they want to do to each other. Lex Hook is showing us right now.
I think Emma Barkley is kind of going to be kind of out of her element here, since we only really train inside the ring.
That is a great observation there. You know, Lex Hook is showing Emma Barkley something that not everyone sees when they're in their training. You know, usually they're inside the ring, they're safe, they're secure, they have a little bit of padding, but outside the ring, it's something completely different. And veterans like Lex Hook know that in order to get an advantage, taking your opponent out of the ring is a quick and easy and dirty way to do that, but it is effective.
I mean, I guess it's a night of firsts for her.
It's a night of first match, first televised event here for Emma. Potentially, wow,
Whoa!
that was a first for us here today. Somebody call the air marshal, because Lex Hook, she just launched herself into that barely padded concrete.
Do you think she's getting afraid of Barkley? Or was that just a misjudged?
I'm not sure. I think it might have been a miscalculation, but it definitely seems like she hit Control-Alt-Delete on that one. Oh my God.
I think she thought her lasso was attached to the ring.
Well, whether or not she's attached to the ring, she is in it now and in worse shape than when she started. That double super kick there from Emma Barkley. She's known to employ that in her training. A 1 count, a 2 count, and only a 2
That's not a
count.
free. That's not a free.
I thought it was a 3 myself, but apparently not. And Emma Barkley going for something big here. That airplane spin TKO, could that be it? 2. And only a 2 count. Lex Hook will not go down without a fight. You know, she hasn't had a win here in Covenant Pro Wrestling as of yet, and she's looking to make sure that she, you know, doesn't lose to someone in their very first match. But Emma Barkley, I've got to say, has been very impressive. Now we see these big shots and, you know, switching things up and going from behind.
I think Lex Hook is trying to make up for her mistake before.
Definitely, and we see these suplexes here. Going for a third.
Ooh, big suplexes there.
Oh no.
No.
Like a lawn dart.
Her poor head.
Lex
Her poor
Hook is,
skull.
she is unhinged. Went for something big there, but not quite able to pull it off. A neck breaker.
Don't send her to the hospital, Lex Hook. At least be nice. It's her first match.
It's her first match, and you know, I'm pretty impressed that her hat has stayed on this whole time.
They super glued it to her hair.
We see this
I think it might have
cross-face
been-
maneuver here. This
Will Lex tap though?
apparently
Which
not.
one? But yeah, talking about her hat, how do you think she's keeping that on?
I am not sure how she's keeping it on, and referee Leonard Seymour is seeing more and calling for rope breaks here again tonight.
Yeah, she grasped it with her hand, I'm pretty sure.
You know, sometimes referee Leonard Seymour sees so much that I'm not sure if it's a glitch in the matrix or if he's just that good at his job.
I think he might have X-ray eyes, to be honest, James.
That would definitely allow him to live up to his name. And here we go. We might see this airplane spin TKO yet again. And Emma Barkley, that might be it. A pinfall. 1, 2, and a 3.
Emma Barkley wins?
Amber Barkley, in her very first contest ever, has taken out someone the likes of Lex Hook. And your winner of this
I have high
contest
hopes
via
for her now.
pinfall.
I may have not
She
had high
is
hopes for her coming in, but I do now.
California's sweetheart, Emma
I
definitely agree with you. I cannot believe what I just saw.
Yeah, she's shown us that she can go up there with the big uns. She can fight the best of the best and win.
Oh, and here we see Mac Daddy Furnace yet again going on and on about Morgan Sharp. And now we are moving on in the action. As we heard Mac Daddy Furnace say just a moment ago, he has employed Johnny D to take care of Morgan Sharp, his little renegade problem, so to speak. What do you think about this strategy, Jack?
I think he's a coward, to be honest, James. An absolute coward. Only cowards use other people to get to who they want to get to. And I thought the Big Mac had more in him. But I guess he doesn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Youngstown, Ohio, they are the Raging Demon of Youngstown, Johnny D.
I definitely agree with you, Jack. You know, employing someone like Johnny D, this despicable human being. I don't even know if you would call him a human. He calls himself the Demon of Youngstown. And I do have to say that the name fits. And we see him there gesturing to our fans, our loyal fans here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. You know, he's just a horrible person. And for Mac Daddy to spend his money, even though it's hard-earned money, on this, I don't know, man. Doesn't sit right with me.
I think we should stop paying Mac Daddy. Or at least pay him less, so we can't afford the services of Johnny D.
But then Mac, he's got his cryptocurrency, you know, whatever that he's got going on. He's got money to blow, and you know, he's doing what he wants.
I just think it's very interesting that he chose Johnny D of all people.
And now for their opponent, making their way to the ring from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 215 pounds, they are the Renegade, Morgan Sharp.
Well, I would say it's kind kind of interesting that he chose Johnny D for this job. I can't say I'm entirely surprised. It's these heels on Covenant Pro Wrestling, these bad guys, these villains, if you will, they seem to all congregate together. So I'm never quite surprised when I see them teaming up and cooperating with one another. The thing that would surprise me is long-term cooperation, because it seems like they're all in for business, all in business for themselves.
Speaking of business, we've got the sheriff here to take care of business.
The sheriff, Morgan Sharp, the renegade, here to take care of business. And, you know, speaking of business, I think business is about to pick up.
Especially in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Don't look away. Johnny D is just staring Morgan Sharp down here.
Yeah, he's such an imposing figure, but Morgan Sharp, unafraid, completely, right out of the gate, going head to head with Johnny D and whipping him into the corner. But it seems like, Johnny D was comfortable in that corner and was able to turn the tides on Johnny D or Morgan Sharp fairly quickly.
There aren't many people in the roster who scare me, but Johnny D is one of them. He's just such an imposing physical figure.
He is definitely an imposing physical figure. And, I hear that his goal here in Covenant Pro Wrestling is to cause as much devastation as he can on his path to the Covenant Pro Wrestling Championship, which I'm told we'll hear some news about next week. But if I were Will Sheridan, I'd want to keep this guy as far away from any championship in Covenant Pro Wrestling as possible, because once he gets his hands on it, I don't think he'll ever let it go, even if he loses.
I'll be honest, I think there'll be some blood on the title after he's done with it, if he ever gets it.
He'll use that title as a weapon. He'll use that title as a reason to go to war with just about everyone. And the demon with the most from the Davenport coast is taking it to Morgan Sharp right now.
Will Morgan Sharp be able to weather both Johnny D and Big Mac Daddy?
Well, we saw him go head to head with Mac Daddy last week and come out victorious. But Mac Daddy is actually saying that he had brass knees. We've heard of brass knuckles, but Mac is saying that he had brass knees that enabled him to get the victory.
I've never heard something more ridiculous in my life.
And speaking of knees, I don't know if it's brass or not, but it definitely rocked Johnny D enough for him to get sent over that top rope and onto the outside.
I'm pretty sure we checked their bodies, don't we, for weapons?
They, our security protocols, especially after the attacks perpetrated by Seth Dallas and Jamie Clark in recent weeks, have, gotten way more complex. We have metal detectors in every entrance. There's no way that Morgan Sharp had any metal anywhere in his body that we didn't know about.
Unless he had like a special dental filling.
I have no idea what you're going on about there. But what's going on here is pure devastation on the outside. Getting a little bit too close for our comfort to the announce table here. And Morgan Sharp...
Johnny D scaring me again. Johnny D scaring me again.
Johnny D is scaring me as well. And Morgan Sharp a little too close for comfort with that ring post.
Whoa. Maybe we should back away from the table.
Back away from the table. On our guardrail it says, "Together we rise again." But I don't think anyone, is expecting Morgan Sharp and Johnny D to do anything together other than cause mayhem. And the only one that's going to rise is the one that beats the living hell out of each other.
I think they might break each other. Ooh, his organs definitely felt a beating there.
Morgan Sharp able to kick out. That leap from Oak Hill, as he calls it, those double foot stomps from the top rope, it's just devastating. And to see a guy that size doing that it's impressive. And a huge Spanish fly by Morgan Sharp. Does that have him back in the game here?
Will he be able to use his supposed brass knees?
You know, Morgan Sharp with this sharpshooter here has Johnny D in a bad way. No knees required. And Morgan Sharp, even though he was pushed off by Johnny D, able to keep the pressure on.
I have noticed that he's been using his knees less in this match. Is this perhaps a way to prove that he's not using any of those weapons that Mac Daddy is claiming he's using?
Possibly. Morgan Sharp, we know he has recently turned over a new leaf. He's come into this company trying to uplift everyone. And, you know, I think he's trying to do right by everyone. But people like Mac Daddy and like Johnny D, they just can't accept that he's here to try his best.
I don't think there's a do best by Johnny D. I don't think there's a way to do that without significantly hurting yourself.
Yeah, I suppose. But either way, you see these two competitors, they're going to hurt each other. And sometimes you have to take that risk. And we see that knee there. Morgan Sharp doing what he does best with that maneuver. But Johnny D, that big Uranagi side slam, a pin, and only a 2 count.
I thought that'd be a 3 count there, James. I really did.
That Demon's Wrath, that Uranagi there, and then now these big punches to the head of Morgan Sharp.
Do we allow closed fist punches?
I think referee Leonard Seymour uses his discretion in matchups like this, and when it's a blood feud. You know, as much as he likes to see everything, he also likes to look the other way.
To be honest, I'd look the other way when it came to Johnny D too.
You know, enormous fall away slam, and now we see these punches again, and somebody's gonna get busted open here. This is no joke.
Who are you betting will be busted open first?
Well, if Johnny D has his way, this big drop kick, no, he misses it.
Have we changed the ring at all this week? Because people seem to be missing their rather important moves.
We haven't changed the ring at all, and that interesting counter there by Johnny D, able to grab the legs of Morgan Sharp in one of his biggest maneuvers. And just as you say that, Jack, another big maneuver is missed.
I'm starting to think that maybe the ring isn't... Oh, he's busted open, just like you said.
A 2 count, and only a 2. Morgan Sharp is not ready to go down without a fight.
Morgan Sharp, look at his eye.
You know, some injuries to the face, they look bad, but they're not all that bad. The face bleeds a lot, but I think in this occasion, it's a pretty significant damage for Morgan Sharp.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him lacking accuracy now. He's only using one eye. He can't tell the third dimension anymore.
You know,
might have to call him the Cyclops.
And we see the obscured vision of Morgan Sharp. He usually hits that maneuver. So I think you're right on the money there, saying his eye is going to play a factor in this match.
I think after this match, we may have to call him the Cyclops.
The one-eyed outlaw, Morgan Sharp, dropping a big elbow to the knee there and some punches now. On the outside.
He may be injured, but he's not giving up.
You know, I feel like Morgan Sharp is injured, and if you want payback for what happened to you, that busted eye, the outside, that barely padded concrete, and the dangerous ring area is an
Very close
easy
to a
way.
turn.
Is a very easy way to bust your opponent open. So I think he's looking for some payback.
And I think, from the look of it, he's hitting the same side that the injury occurred. So I think he's trying to brutalize that eye for McDaddy.
That could come to play in future matches with McDaddy Furnace. Johnny D has definitely read the job description and is fulfilling it right now. We haven't seen many attacks like this.
Honestly, I didn't think Johnny D worked for the money.
I don't think he works for the money at all. I think he works for the carnage.
That makes surprising sense.
Johnny D, you know, he thrives on being called the Demon of Youngstown, and I think he just wants to increase his area of effect, if you will, with that moniker and that notoriety. So he brings the Demon of Youngstown to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's the Chupacabra all over again.
Do you think that McDaddy paid him much?
You know, I can't speak on McDaddy's finances. You know, we've seen he's got a considerable amount, but in terms of what Johnny D is looking for, it might not have been all that much at all.
I reckon it was just a Big Mac from McDonald's. That's all he had to pay him.
Big Mac from McDonald's, you know, a small fry and some flat Sprite is all he needed to want to take Morgan Sharp out.
And I understand this because of the old Morgan Sharp, but Morgan Sharp's trying to reinvent himself, so I don't know, why would you want to hurt him?
You know, Morgan Sharp, new or old, has always been a fierce competitor, and anyone that's looking for an advantage over Morgan is going to want to take out something that's important to him. And there's not much more important things in the world than your eyes. You take out a man's eyes, you basically, unfortunately, you ruin their lives, but you can pull a fast one over them as quickly as you want after that point.
Unfortunately, after today, he won't be able to say aye, Captain. He'll just have to say aye, Captain.
Well, Sheriff Morgan Sharp.
Ooh.
Did he get Johnny D's eye there?
I think he did. Or was that his forehead? I can't see from here.
Well, I don't think either of our competitors can see over here either. Oh, thank God Morgan Sharp almost collided with that ring post.
To be honest, I thought he might have gone over that barricade there and hit one of the audience members.
Well, Morgan Sharp, you know, turning over that new leaf, trying to be someone positive in Covenant Pro Wrestling, always has the ring awareness and outside ring awareness to look out for those fans and that big Uranagi, that Demon's Wrath again. And only a 2 count. Referee Leonard Seymour says this match continues.
I'm not sure that's good for the health of our competitors.
And yet again with those double foot drops off the top rope.
Stomps. Ooh,
and a huge punch.
I'm surprised that he's still standing after that.
And yet again, the Demon's Wrath. This has got to be it. 2, 3. Johnny D. Johnny D understood the assignment.
He understood the assignment and he performed it excellently. Even though I don't like the fact he's, you know, the why he's doing it, I can respect how he did it.
You've definitely got to respect Johnny D there.
And your winner of this contest via pinfall, Johnny D.
Johnny D making his presence known, fulfilling the duties enlisted to him or entrusted to him by Mac Daddy Furnace. But now we move on to this brutal blood feud between Brad Winters and the lunatic known as Butch. Of course, Brad Winters accompanied to the ring by Will Sheridan, but Butch seems to be having some sort of squabble with the Entertainer and does not have that same support.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Granger, Wyoming, weighing in at 220 pounds, he is the Iron Patriot, the No Limit Soldier, Brad Winters.
The No Limit Soldier Brad Winters has to be happy about his win last week after teaming with his partner Will Sheridan, who accompanies him to the ring tonight. We've got some word from the backstage area that Entertainer has burned down Butch's cabin. They're having some major difficulties in their relationship right now,
And his opponent, approaching
I
the
don't
ring
imagine the Entertainer's
from
gonna be up here.
Manchester, England, weighing in at 214 pounds. He is the
So
lunatic.
apparently he
only
burned down
known
Butch's cabin
as
with a
Butch.
replica version of his own mask. I don't know much more than that.
What the? Huh?
Well, when you piss the Entertainer off, you know, the bad things are going to happen, and I'm just as confused as you are, Jack. I'm sure we'll have more updates later, but
I'm surprised he's not here now.
Well, that's why I was speaking to the audience a little bit before about is, they're having such difficulties. It's not a surprise that Entertainer isn't out here right now. If anything, I would expect the Entertainer is furious with Butch with the way that he lost last week.
Do you think there could be some sort of revenge?
It could be for sure, but right now, Butch out of the gate looking very impressive against Brad Winters with a series of kicks. But Brad Winters, easily back in the game very quickly.
Do you think, since we know Butch idolized the Entertainer, do you think finding that someone he admired so much did this to him would make him better or worse as a wrestler?
We're talking about someone who is a literal lunatic. I don't know if we can predict how he's going to behave, but idolizing someone as much as he did Entertainer, I would wager that it's got to be on his mind, and it's going to make him a little bit preoccupied or distracted, in my personal opinion.
Either that or he goes into a berserker rage. We don't know with Butch.
Butch went for that double axe handle, which he has hit on numerous occasions before, but Brad Winters able to telegraph that. Was that on the part of Brad Winters' skill, as we're seeing here, or is that the distraction?
Was there a bit of hesitation there? We don't see much hesitation from Butch.
Butch is very headstrong.
He's not going to be very shoulder strong after this match, I can tell you that much.
Brad Winters will obliterate your rotator cuffs. He will make you feel the pain in just about every joint in your body. He's just so technically sound. Butch tried to eliminate him from the ring there, but just slingshotting himself back. Brad Winters is damn impressive.
He really, really is. But I think Butch's pure and unbridled rage might be able to counteract that today.
And the rage for sure is definitely in, a surplus when it comes to Butch. I thought he was going to go for that standing Kimura lock again, that hammer lock. But apparently not.
You mean the one that really hurt him last week?
You mean this one right here?
Yes, that one. Entertainer grinning backstage right now after seeing that move again.
I would imagine so. And Brad Winters going for the pin. Trying to get this one, in the bag here. But going over, to the top rope. In a big elbow drop. That Busaiko knee. And that, I thought that was a 3 for sure.
I did too. I really did.
And that, Leonard Seymour, what are you doing?
Ow, I can feel that from here.
Oh, but he sees the rope break. Big knee from Brad Winters, taking advantage of...
We may need to test Leonard Seymour's knowledge on the rules here, because I've seen moves like that quite a bit.
And now we see blood here again in this contest, just as we saw it in our last contest, in that big lunatic punch, a pin here, and only a 2 count.
How isn't he gone?
How isn't he gone in terms of Brad Winters, or how is Leonard Seymour still employed?
Yes.
I'm not sure for either one of those, but that big spinning kick there, a 2 count, and a kick out by Brad Winters. They call Will Sheridan the Iron Will, and I think we see the hammerlock there by Brad Winters. The distraction by the entertainer, we're assuming, may prove successful. And a 2 count.
Is Butch gonna fail again?
If you're Butch, I would definitely hope not.
Because Butch has just proven to himself he's not as good as he may think he is in that deluded mind of his.
And a 3 count.
Ooh, it's not a good show right now for Butch.
Oh my God. Somebody get Butch into
winner
witness
of this
protection.
contest
Some
via
sort of
pinfall, the
some sort of
Iron
protection.
Patriot,
Whatever we've got, because
Brad
entertainer, he is not going to be happy with it.
Does Butch know another cabin?
I think you better start building quickly. But moving on in the action, we see Daniel Horror making his Covenant Pro Wrestling debut. Daniel Horror, of course, the brother of Liza Horror and Zistro Horror of CWL fame. The Second City Knight is going to have his hands full tonight, taking on Kieran Malachi, the Anubis Assassin.
Oh, that's who he's related to. I thought his last name was familiar.
The following matchup is scheduled for one fall. Introducing
Last name,
making
definitely
their way
known in the world
from
of pro
Edinburgh,
wrestling, but
Scotland,
Kieran Malachi,
weighing in
ready
at
to make sure that his last name is known as well.
They are the Anubis Assassin.
The Anubis Assassin.
Kieran
Coming from Ireland, I believe.
Malachi.
Was it Scotland?
He's coming from Scotland.
Oh,
Edinburgh, Scotland.
I thought he was from Ireland for some reason. I must have been looking into Mothman's eyes too much.
I'm still reeling after that contest we saw earlier as well. And if you want to see contests like the one that we're referring to, you can only see it here with us live in the arena.
Make sure you buy those tickets.
Tickets on sale every week.
And now,
You can come.
making their Covenant Pro Wrestling debut, hailing from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 225 pounds, they are the Second City Knight, Daniel Horror!
Daniel Horror, of course, the brother of Zistro Horror and Liza Horror, kind of branching out on his own here to make his debut in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and I have to say, I definitely recognize the family resemblance, don't you, Jack?
It's that hair, the red hair. I wonder if he'll have as much willpower as his brother though.
You know, I don't know if he'll have enough, as much willpower, but I definitely hope he has better luck than his brother. His brother Zistro always was the nearly man, so to speak. Got just close enough to almost win, but could never quite manage it.
Would he be trying to outshine his brother?
Well, based on his attire, you see that satin look on some of the components there. He definitely looks a little shiny to me.
I'm not sure what to make of this new Horror.
Well, I'm sure in just a moment he'll tell us exactly what to make of him while he tries to make something of his debut here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
I mean, he's immediately been lifted.
But a big arm drag countering out of that, pretty impressive. Kieran Malika, we know he's no slouch. We know that he wants to impress, and he's here to try to get as many wins as he can. And, you know, judging by his performance in recent weeks, not being able to get those against some very high-profile competitors, you've got to think he wants to make sure, much like Lex Hook wanted to make sure earlier, that he doesn't get outshined by the newbie here.
I mean, yeah, but that didn't go very well for Lex Hook.
Didn't go very well for Lex Hook. So we're hoping that, you know, luck changes for Kieran Malachi. Looking very good in the openings of this matchup. Both competitors are in the big back elbows in the corner. That is a definite way to rock your opponent.
Speaking of Malachi, have we heard anything more about his obsession with Egypt recently? Whoa!
My God!
Did he just... No.
Well, you know, I guess he said, Leonard Seymour, you're kinda in the way, so let me help you with that.
Seymour didn't see that coming.
Did not see that coming at all. He was blindsided.
I'm surprised he has the professionalism just to get up after that.
Leonard Seymour is built like a tank. A big dragon screw here by Kieran Malachi. You know, what are you thinking right now of Daniel Horror?
Honestly, I think he shows potential, but he might be... Oh!
I think he's got some back pain.
Is Malachi still the chiropractor?
You know, I think that is a name that he's living up to, and I don't think it's one he's ready to give up anytime soon.
I think, honestly, if I was Malachi right now, I would make that one of his official nicknames.
Yeah, the chiropractor, Kieran Malachi. It even sounds cool.
Yeah, and a lot of his moves seem to be focused on the back. So, he's missing a trick here.
We definitely have to, you know, have a talk with Kieran. But Daniel Horror having a little bit of a talk with him there. Just those punches raining down. And now this submission hold yet again. We saw it in the ring, and now we're seeing it here again.
We're getting front seat views here.
As close as you can get without actually being in that ring, that's for sure.
They've been outside the ring for a while.
Well, they do have that 20 count, and as long as you keep just going in there, just tucking yourself in the ring just ever so slightly to break up that count, you can be out there as long as you want.
I think Daniel Horror might be getting more comfortable right now. Whoa! Did he just... No. Did he just reverse that?
I think he may have reversed that. I'm not sure.
All I know is Malachi's bleeding from the look of it.
And now that I think about it, I think that was a reversal on one of Kieran Malachi's bigger moves, that spear that he likes to employ. That Glasgow spear is one that he uses quite frequently.
It seems he may have used Malachi's momentum against him.
Definitely, and now using that momentum for his own, Kieran Malachi, a big clothesline in the corner there.
Hopefully he'll be able to hit this one, unlike a lot of our competitors today.
Interesting strategy here, letting Horror get up, and a huge shoulder block from the top rope. Kieran Malachi might be going for that Anubis backbreaker, and he hits it.
The chiropractor at work again.
1, 2, and only a 2 count. Daniel Horror is showing that the Horror family all has heart.
They have heart, but heart isn't going to get you through in CPW, unfortunately. You need to have a lot more than just heart.
Well, it seems like Kieran Malachi is going to give Daniel Horror a little more than just heart right now. Going yet again for that Anubis backbreaker, and that has got to be it. The chiropractor is closing shop. 2, 3.
Yes, final readjustment there for Daniel Horror.
You got to wonder if he's got his degree in chiropractic, or this is just a hobby for him. We don't know.
He works on the back way too much.
Ladies
for it
and
not
gentlemen,
to
your
be
winner of
some
this
sort of weird
contest via
fascination.
pinfall, Kieran Malachi. Definitely a weird fascination, and with that first win there, Kieran Malachi might be fascinated with getting another. Keep tabs on Kieran Malachi in the future, but right now we go back into tag team competition. Theory and Tama are back. We haven't seen them since week 1, and they want to take on Lord Chancho because they just don't like how he looks. He's not beautiful enough. So Lord Chancho had to go out and get himself a partner. But who's that going to be?
How dare they say Lord Chancho isn't beautiful?
I think he's quite beautiful. I like his cape.
Yeah, he's got a lovely cape.
Got a lovely cape, got a lovely crown, got a lovely demeanor. What more do you need? Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team competition is scheduled for one fall.
He does
with
weigh
no
several
time
Whopper
limits.
Juniors.
And introducing first,
Here we
making
are.
their way to the ring.
Here we are. A
at
guy
a
that's never
combined
seen a
weight
Whopper Junior
of
in his
still
life.
less than all of you
Jacob
fat
Sterry
fucks in the crowd.
and his partner,
They are
Ollie
the
Thompson.
sex appeal of the Southwest, Jacob Sterry.
I don't like these
and
two.
Retro Ali.
I don't like him
Thomas.
either.
And whoever drew that stupid picture on Jacob Sterry's gear, quit.
And
You're not good. Did you go to art school? I don't think so. I don't like
Last
you.
person who's thrown out of art school. We don't like them either.
Whoever did that, whoever gave their seal of approval to these assholes, all of you, out.
You've been bad.
Been very bad.
I wouldn't mind, but they don't even... They seem to love the attention, even if it's hatred.
I think, hatred is their favorite kind of attention, but I just can't bring myself to say I like them.
Nor can I. They don't feel right, if that makes sense to you, James.
They don't. I think this is the longest introduction that we've had in Covenant Pro Wrestling history. Just get in the ring already.
Yeah, no one likes to look at you, even though you like to look at yourself.
Now we know Lord Chancho, that beautiful music. Let's just listen to it. Over 1,400 Whopper Juniors. The Celine Dion's favorite gamer. How many people can say that they are Celine Dion's favorite gamer?
He's met Celine Dion.
He's met Celine Dion. They go for brunch. They play Fortnite. You know, he's got an incredible demeanor and he's an incredible friend. Lord Chancho, you know, I think he's had a little bit of an unfair share of whatever this is by Jacob Sterry and Ali Tomo in terms of this hatred that they're spewing, because
I think they're jealous of his mass. They can't put any pounds on themselves, so they see his girth and they're jealous.
But who did he find to partner with him? You know, we've seen Lord Chancho clear out catering of all the snacks, so he doesn't have many friends. But he's got one here with me.
I wonder who.
Wait a minute, I know that music! Making their way to the ring from Norwich, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, they are the ace of the arcade, Ebac! The ace of the arcade, the Hyrulean High Flyer, the conductor of the controller, Ebac is here!
I think they might, from what I've heard, they might have got into a Discord call after their match last time.
A Discord call, whatever happened, it worked. This is amazing. The pro gamers together on the same team. This is the greatest thing I've seen tonight.
Even greater than Mothman.
You know, Mothman is an incredible specimen. He's got his lore and just the energy that he puts off is incredible. But nothing gets me pumped like Ebac's theme song. I'm sorry, I'm biased. James Randall, you've heard it here first, is in love with Ebac's theme song.
I think you might need to go and see someone about this.
Well, somebody needs to go see somebody about not liking Ebac's theme song, because in my personal opinion, it's great. But speaking on the match, Jacob Sterry is impressive here, being able to lift the big man, Lord Chancho, with a big suplex, and now just pushing him around like he's a child. You know, you can hate Jacob Sterry all you want, and I prefer that you do, but he is impressive.
Speaking of Chancho as a child, he is the longest running member of the Burger King Kids Club.
He is the longest reigning member of that Burger King Kids Club. You know, he keeps them in business. But Jacob Sterry is also here for business. That reverse DDT, and the opposing corner, Jacob Sterry is showing that he's not quite afraid of Ebac or Lord Chancho. But that big neck breaker there, that is something to be afraid of.
It looked like they defied gravity for a moment there, James.
A hip toss. Lord Chancho is at a disadvantage here, defying gravity. I'm not sure. But for a moment, gravity is not on Chancho's side.
I mean, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Tag into Ali Tomo. Lord Chancho elects not to tag in Ebac. I think he's feeling like his life is, he's got, full health here, so to speak, and a few extra lives, so he's still in here to play. I
think he's just trying to charge up his fatality bar, to be honest here, James.
Yeah, and hopefully, Ali Tamo is much of a little prick that he is. Hopefully, he's got some kind of combo breaker because once Lord Chancho gets on a run, there's no stopping him.
Wait, you're hoping Tamo gets a combo breaker. I'm hoping he doesn't.
Well, I don't like the guy. I've got to admit, I don't like retro Ali Tamo, whose first video game console was a GameCube, and he considers that to be retro. So I might be aging myself here, but he rubs me the wrong way. But at the same time, you don't want to see anybody get hurt,
Ooh, I think some of the roster will disagree with that.
And that looked like it hurt Ali Tamo going for a big leg drop, but the sheer speed and agility of, the massive Lord Chancho, able to help him get out of that one.
The thing is, Chancho may be big, but he's faster than most competitors.
I think he really is. He's got some agility to him.
Like, did you see him just dodge past Seymour there?
Unlike some of our competitors here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, Lord Chancho is aware of his size, and he's not going to Kieran Malachi Leonard Seymour. He wants to make sure that Seymour can do his job. And a big splash out there, followed up by a knee by Eback.
He's using the Konami code here.
He may be using some sort of cheat code, but in this occasion, I wouldn't frown upon it.
Oh, he's on our table. Tell him to get off our table. Get off our table, you.
Well, I guess he listened.
Yeah, I guess he listened. Why didn't you slap him? Come on, you're not telling me you didn't want to hit Jacob Sterry then.
I did, but at the same time, they were near us. The cameras were near us. I've got a career to protect here.
Yeah, but is it really worth it? Like, I'd happily lose my career to him.
I think many people would agree with that, and now honestly, I'm second guessing not doing that. And of course, in Covenant Pro Wrestling, we do have up to a 20 count. So as you saw referee Leonard Seymour counting 11, we still got some time to get this back into the ring.
Oh, I'm surprised Tamo isn't getting involved here.
I'm surprised too. Tamo, he plays very dirty. He is the one that is modding Grand Theft Auto 5 to death. Just him by himself.
Are you sure he's not doing it online?
Definitely doing it online. He's one of those that you've been warned about. But Eback doesn't play with cheaters. And right now, he's showing that he has what it takes to win against Jacob Sterry on the outside.
Ooh, there's some big elbows there from Sterry though. Oh, onto the belly, padded concrete.
A huge slam right on the back of the neck and the shoulder region of Jacob Sterry, and just tossing him aside like the little baby bitch that he is.
Like, doesn't he, what is his weight again? Less than us fat fucks?
Exactly, less than us fat fucks in the crowd. I'm not sure if he's speaking of us, but that'll hurt you.
Do you think he's weightist, if that makes sense?
I definitely think he has some. He definitely has. Yeah, he has some issues, some repressed issues, and he's just, I hear that he doesn't like anybody that doesn't look like him.
I want him to get away from our table. I can smell it from here.
Eback pulled an interesting maneuver there. You thought he was going to take the monitors off of the table and slam Sterry through it, but he just ended up dusting for us. He's so considerate.
Yeah, and by smelling from here, I don't mean he smells bad. I just mean he used so much perfume that you can smell it from across the ring.
I think that's one of the ways they're able to get their attention. They douse themselves in cologne and perfume, just so you look in their direction to see what smells so horribly.
They think they smell good, I think.
Well, you know, whether or not they smell good is up to whoever smells them, I guess. And a big forearm there, but Lord Chancho coming in and breaking up the pin, but also getting a huge drop kick there. That shotgun drop kick.
Oh no.
That was the retro elbow and it missed. E-back. A big suplex there.
E-back looked at his retro, laughed and said that's not retro.
Not retro enough. E-back showing his agility.
E-back is using some cheat codes now. Or is it his opponent who's using the cheat code?
I wouldn't put it past him, but E-back is in a bad way here with Retro Alitamo. Desperately, I think, needing a tag right about now.
Is Chancho up? Yes, he is. He's just got up.
And I think that might be good news for E-back. It's just great tag team wrestling, and you can tell that E-back is a seasoned tag team competitor.
And I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, and these are just rumors from the locker room, that E-back and Chancho had to sleep all day today because they were on Fortnite all last night.
That may be the case, and Lord Chancho just almost getting a pin there. I'm surprised that Retro Alitama was able to get out of that because Lord Chancho's mask is just it is impressive.
Immense.
It's a sight to see.
It's immense. That's where it is, James.
We might be seeing the worm.
Ooh.
And a big elbow drop.
The worm. I love the worm.
2.
Only 2. I was hoping that would be it there, James.
I think Lord Chancho has used this headbutt before.
Oh, that was painful.
But I guess he won't be using it today.
Go on. Mess up his pretty face, Chancho. I shouldn't be this biased, should I?
I mean, I think everyone is biased against, Jacob Sterry and Alitamo. If you weren't, I would be worried.
I just hope Sterry doesn't finish. Ooh, Chancho in the camera there. From what I could see, it looks like our audience at home might be having a bit of a show.
You love to see it, Lord Chancho doing whatever it takes to get in the ring. It's not pretty, but it's effective.
You can say that again, James.
E-back going for a pin here. A 2 count. Damn, Jacob Sterry.
Jacob Sterry, as much as he seems like a weak, prissy, stuck-up brat, he is very tough when he wants to be.
Well, he's from the Southwest, he's not supposed to be pretty. So I guess hopefully the NVIDIA driver will take out Jacob Sterry right there. But I was going to say, so I guess, it makes sense for him to have a little bit of brawn to him,
Yeah, I think he spends a lot of time in the gym, doesn't he?
I think he spends all of his time in the gym.
Okay, yeah, I may have been underestimating the amount of time he spends in the gym. Do you think he's...
2.
Ooh.
And only a 2 count there. Jacob Sterry able to roll that shoulder out, unfortunately.
Notice Chancho getting into the ring just in case Tamo was going to come and stop it.
This has been an incredible match, and Lord Chancho going for a pin off of a finger bite.
Wait, did he bite his finger? I didn't actually catch that.
He was biting his fingers. I think he's hungry again. It's been a while since they had snack time. And Lord Chancho, I
Someone
guess.
throw a whopper. Someone throw a whopper into the ring right now.
And this is gonna be a whopper right now.
Oh, his poor intestines.
Wait, what is this?
What?
Wait a minute.
What the?
That's Matty Meyer.
No, Chancho, behind you. Chancho.
Matty Meyer of Matty Meyer's Candy Island here to represent and interfere on behalf of his friends Ali Tamo and Jacob Sterry.
Are they a faction?
They were in the CWL, and Matty Meyer making his presence known here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. I'm not sure what this means for Covenant Pro, if he's got a contract, if he's just intruding here, if security's taking a day off. But Lord Chancho is in bad shape here because of the interference by Matty Meyer.
Could it be they were so stretched thin looking at those bronze knees before?
Potentially in a 2 count here, Lord Chancho desperately, and I mean desperately, needs a tag.
Come on, Chancho, you can do it. You've got the girth for it.
This is just bad news.
Aren't those too bad news anyway?
Uh-oh, this might be tickets for your clown fall. And the clown himself is able to hit it.
Come on, Eba. Yes, rope break.
Good guy, referee Leonard Seymour, calling the action right down the middle.
Do you think Seymour saw the show Chancho gave the camera, and that's why he's being a little bit slower with his counts now?
I'm not sure. I think he's trying to avoid that for sure. That's a possibility. But I also think this has been a long matchup, and we often talk about how exhausted the competitors are, but you have to, think about Leonard Seymour here. He's running around just as much.
Seymour, I've heard that Seymour has a special pouch of alcohol in his shirt. This may be a very far-flung rumor, but I've heard that's why he sometimes misses his counts.
Well, we're not here to talk about personal issues in the lives of our personnel, but personal issues right now are going down in the ring between Ali Tamo and Lord Chancho, and that big retro elbow. Bad news. But what the hell?
Did he just what?
Okay. Jacob Sterry said, no, that's not good enough. Hit him with another one.
This is why I hate Sterry.
Best friends make the best enemies, I guess.
I think, do you know what I think, James?
I would really love to know what you think.
I think it's because he doesn't want Tamo to get the pin count. He's so up his own arse that he wants to get the pin count himself.
I think you might be onto something there, but, thinking about it from that perspective, I think Sterry might have screwed himself here. Lord Chancho is ramping up yet again.
Oh Lord, I hope he screwed himself.
Oh, that is brutal. Oh, are we gonna see it again?
I think we are.
W-O-R-M.
The word.
Pinfall. 2 and a 2 count.
Notice how Sterry didn't even get into the ring there.
He's definitely something else, and Ali Tamo, whether he likes it or not, he's gonna have to get a tag soon, or this matchup is gonna be over.
Especially if Sterry's gonna sabotage him again, if he tries to finish the match himself.
I guess Sterry ever ready to get in the ring and get all the glory. It's not working out right now.
As much as we shit talk Sterry, I think he does deserve to be in the CPW.
Oh,
Just so
definitely.
he's being busted like that.
I mean, you look at the prowess of Jacob Sterry and Ali Tamo, and they do elevate this tag team division. They, for all intents and purposes right now, they are the tag team division, and they're giving us a reason right now to see these other two great competitors, Ebac and Lord Chancho, mix it up with one another.
It's just unfortunate it has to be them.
I think that's the same thing that Jacob Sterry's mother said the day that he was born. And I think that rings true in the rest of his life. But Lord Chancho is looking to, I guess, get a little bit of vindication, if you will, against Jacob Sterry, just to make us all a little bit happier.
I thought that was Will Sheridan's job.
Maybe Will Sheridan's job. But right now, Lord Chancho is, hoping to rise up to the task. But unfortunately, I think the presence of Maddie Meyer out here has really distracted Lord Chancho. And it'll be a shame if they lose just based on that alone.
Yeah. You think he's trying to rise up like a phoenix?
If anyone's going to do it, it will. Wait a minute. Rising up right now to the top rope. Lord Chancho. 1, 2, and a 3.
Finish. He planked on him.
Oh my God. Lord Chancho with a whopper of a win against Retro, Ali Tamo, and Jacob Sterry. Matty Meyer, his undue influence in this matchup, infiltrating Covenant Pro Wrestling, was not enough to deter these two determined competitors here in Ebac and Lord Chancho.
I still think Sterry screwed himself.
Oh, definitely. And that's just his prerogative. That's what he does. That's what he's known for. But now, speaking of screwing themselves, I think this no holds barred matchup is just bad news for both of these competitors. Ashley Walsh making her return to Covenant Pro Wrestling in an official capacity for the first time since week 1 against the boss woman Hisano, who brutally attacked her several weeks ago. And even though Ashley got her just desserts last week with her interference in Hisano's matchup, or after the match, you've got to think that this is going to be a tough competition for both of them.
If I'm being honest, I think Hisano has less to lose here because she's known for being part of the Yakuza, as I've said before, and they love no holds barred.
They do. In the Yakuza, there's no such thing as no holds barred because that's just how it is normally.
Yeah, in fact, a normal match is the unusual thing for the Yakuza.
Yeah, the Yakuza, you don't see rope breaks in the Yakuza. So, referee Leonard Seymour,
very different.
Yeah, it's a slightly different thing. But referee Leonard Seymour better be on his best behavior because Hisano, the boss woman of the Yakuza's #1 hit, as she likes to call herself, is not above hitting the referee.
I mean, I'm afraid of being hit, and I'm a commentator. Like, no one is safe from this woman.
No one at all. And Ashley Walsh. Oh. Does she have what it takes? Does she have what it takes? It's hard to even think about.
I think Ashley Walsh, as much damage as she will do to Hisano, I think she might need an ambulance again.
Well, thankfully, our resident ambulance is still parked in the parking lot of Covenant Pro Wrestling. Pretty soon, we're going to be charging them rent, but as long as they cut us a deal, we might not.
I thought we were meant to be the ones being charged for the ambulance.
And her opponent.
Well, we'll get to that. The paperwork hasn't been filed, okay?
From
The money's short.
Ireland,
Covenant Pro Wrestling
she is the
picking up
friendly
short. Here
Irish
comes
lass,
the short
known for
Irish
kicking
lass,
ass.
known
This
for kicking
is
ass.
Ashley
Walsh.
Whoa!
Oh, I'm sorry, you got me there, James. The short Irish tack.
I mean, bro, okay? I'm not, trying to disparage her based on her height. In some matches, that is an advantage. I mean,
He isn't Dragon Kid, James.
Okay, obviously she's not Dragon Kid. You've got me a little flustered here, Jack Colby. And let me do my damn job. Let me do my job.
Let me do my job in making fun of you.
I'm not paid enough for this, okay?
You're paid?
You're not?
What?
Well,
They
speaking
paid
of
me in animal crackers.
Speaking of payment, I think there's going to be some hell to pay in this matchup, this no-holds-barred match between Ashley Walsh and Hisano. And we've got to wonder, how much is Ashley Walsh going to make Hisano pay in this one?
I'm still going to bring this pay thing up later. But I'll just watch the match for now.
Take it up with HR.
I'll have to do that.
Ashley Walsh has been really impressive in the early goings of this match. Hisano has sort of been on the back foot since the bell rang. I can't count her out, but this is just interesting to see.
I mean, Hisano is much bigger than Ashley Walsh. To be honest, if Hisano's the one getting lifted, I think it might tire Ashley Walsh out more than it tires out Hisano.
Definitely, but when we're thinking about in terms of suplexes and just the sheer ability to throw people around, Ashley Walsh, you can't overlook that as well, because her lower center of gravity, she's got to work a little bit less to be able to pull those throws off.
Yeah, I guess there is an advantage to being a short Irish lass, I guess.
And that's what I was saying earlier, Jack. Damn you.
But I'm still doing my job.
Hisano whipping Ashley Walsh into the corner, just like I'll be doing with you later, Jack.
I'm being threatened. Please save me. They pay me in animal crackers and Hisano stairs.
Listen, it's been a long show, everyone. If you're watching from home and you're watching on CovenantProWrestling.com, we're a little slap happy here. We haven't gone to the bathroom since the show started, and it's just been an incredible show.
And I may be getting on my commentator's nerves, but Hisano, it's certainly on her last nerve here, being thrown out of the ring.
Being thrown out of the ring yet again on that barely padded concrete, but we know that Hisano loves it out there. That's her chosen environment.
So what are your thoughts on our competitors? Who do you want to win this competition?
I would really love for Ashley Walsh to get her revenge, so to speak. I know she got a little taste of it last week, but that brutal attack in the parking garage by Hisano, I don't think it's been paid in full, and I would like for Ashley Walsh to be able to, to get her payback there.
While I'd love to agree with you, I'm too afraid of Hisano to say I want her to lose. So I want Hisano to win.
I can definitely see your opinion there, but Hisano, I don't think she's quite concerned with us right now, because right now she is just taking it to Ashley Walsh.
Yeah, but we know she watches the matches after.
I guess, we might have to take it upon ourselves to edit some of this in post. Oh my God.
Speaking of editing in post, someone's just on the ring post now.
And you can't edit that. And you see Ashley Walsh using that other hand to apply pressure to the other leg. A smart strategy, kind of immobilizing Hisano's lower extremities, but she was still able to kick out.
I mean, I've heard in interviews Hisano saying that in that pin position, she wants to knee people inside just for pinning her. I mean, it's not been allowed because it's against the rules, but I'm still very afraid of Hisano doing that to an opponent one day.
Oh no, this big pile driver. Ashley Walsh That's got to be it. 1, 2. I can't believe
How is
it.
that not it? Ashley, have you been taking drugs?
She's been taking something, but what she won't be taking here tonight is any of Hisano's shit.
She's been eating her Weetabix, that's for sure.
Oh, Ashley Walsh, I thought she was going to go for a pile driver of her own, but that big cutter there.
It might cut Hisano's life short.
Went for that low drop kick, that baseball slide drop kick there.
Ooh, nice dodge there.
An enormous power bomb. 1. What the hell?
Are we sure Ashley didn't do that on purpose so she could keep hurting Hisano?
No, I've got to imagine she wants to put this one away. And a big slam there. You know, that offense isn't exactly pretty, and neither is that defense. But these women are just going right at each other.
One thing I'm going to say I've noticed with Hisano in this match is she's got very, very large boots, and she uses a lot of kicks, at least in her defense. Do you think
I am so glad that you expanded on your thought there. I had thought you said something else, but her footwear definitely is quite rugged.
Hey, if it's been a long show, stop thinking dirty thoughts. At least they pay you.
They pay me in animal crackers just like you, and a huge slam by Ashley Walsh. And that has got to be it for this show. And only a 2 count.
You got it. I'm going a bit loopy here, James.
So is Ashley Walsh after that big forearm. Oh, we've seen this before. Hisano. 1,
If that's not it,
2. What the hell?
Mind my language, but what the fuck?
What the absolute fuck? YouTube is going to hate us for this one, but a big knee. And she's not done.
Come on, algorithm god, don't hate us too much for this.
A huge pile driver. That's it. It's over.
If it's not over, I'm leaving the studio anyway.
And that is all she wrote. Hisano finally getting her first win in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And that was our main event.
Yeah, hold the phone. I'm going to call HR. Yeah, you continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, this blood feud has been a roller coaster ride, and I have to think that we are no way close to done between these two. But the boss woman, Hisano, showing us that she can get a win, and when she does, it is brutal.
They laughed me off the phone, but yeah, I totally agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 5 of Covenant Pro Wrestling. Like, share, subscribe, and more, because we're back. Fuck it.
Let's see.
I'll fix that in post too. You know what? Fuck it. Keeping it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the show. This is what we do. This is what we sound like. Subscribe, bitches.
They pay you?